And we have a few business partners also on the call to also share their experiences. But today, the webinar is all about what happens to your income if you stop working. And I know that this is a question that we asked ourselves when just before we decided to get into this business, and we were planning on starting our families, or our family, not families, our family. And it was scary to know what happens if we stopped working, or if I got pregnant and I did not feel like working throughout my pregnancy, because my first pregnancy, I worked throughout the pregnancy. And so I was not willing to do that again. And so this was a question that we asked ourselves. But I think we are going to get started, and the webinar is recorded, so we will share the recording. So today, what will we be learning during this webinar? We will be learning why high income does not equal financial independence, because we're both making quite decent income. We're both making six figures and above. But then it still did not equal financial independence. It still meant that if we stopped working, our income would be affected significantly. The hidden risk most professionals ignore is that as a professional, we're in a trap, and that trap is being dependent on our source of income, which are our jobs. And if that dependency no longer exists, what happens? And next, we'll be learning the shift from active income to a structured income. Well, maybe structured is not the perfect word, but an additional source of income, an income where you don't have to always be present. You don't have to clock in and clock out, right? But then an income stream that continues to work behind the scenes, and how couples are building scalable income today. So I have a few partners and ourselves, of course, to share our testimonies and to share with you how we've grown in this business and how we've been able to succeed. So before we go any further, I would like to ask if you can put in the chat, because I really want this to be really interactive. There are not many of us on the call today, so it's an opportunity for us to ask questions and really be able to get to know the business better. So if you don't mind putting in the chat, like what you currently do, what is your source of income, your main source of income, and if you're comfortable, are you happy with what you're currently doing, and how your lifestyle is currently. So, what most people don't realize until it's too late is that if your income depends on your presence, then you are a well paid obligation. You have a well paid obligation. You have a job, which is a responsibility, it's an obligation. You have to be present. You have to clock in and clock out. And that does not give you the freedom that you're looking for. As a matter of fact, what it does is that it's income that stops when you're not physically working. It's income that is directly proportionate to the time that you trade in. So you're not able to spend time with your family, you're not able to spend time with your children, you're not able to enjoy the things that really matter in life, right? I know a lot of business partners, like for example, on one of our coaching sessions a few days ago, something that came up was a family member who joined the business, but one of their reason why they joined the business was because their parent and brother were sick, right? And they were not able to be present to care for them because they had nursing jobs that required them to be present at work, and they weren't able to be there for their parents, and that was a scare for them, and that required for them to make a shift. And so if many of us are in those same positions, most of us on this call are Africans, and our parents, maybe they live with us or maybe they're back home, and sometimes we're not even able to go for our parents own funerals, or to spend time with our parents except when it's a dire obligation. But then that's what we're here to change. We're here to be able to give you a pathway to a financial freedom that allows for you to be present for those important times, right? And freedom that is unlimited. We want to make sure that you understand that we live only once. So we posted a video recently about how the only thing that we can never make back or get back is time. We can always make more money. We can always be able to make memories, but we can never make we can never create more time for ourselves. We can never do what we want or could do today, tomorrow, right? So it's important that we prioritize time. But unfortunately, today, most of us prioritize money. So if you're here today and you earn well and you work hard, but your time is limited and your income is tied to your effort, to the effort that you put in, then and freedom is a someday thing. It's when I retire. It's when I have access to my 401k. It's when I have access to my retirement plan. Then this webinar is for you. Many of our business partners have been able to retire early. And as I was mentioning, some of us on here are Africans, and we have business partners who have been able to relocate back to Africa and live a much better lifestyle in Africa, right? Because we know the struggles that we go through every day here in the Western world. But then back at home, we have the opportunities to live in a different environment, especially when you know that you have a consistent source of income coming in, or you know how to make a consistent source of income that is not necessarily tied to time. So a little bit about our stories. So Mr. Happy, can you share our story before we got into this business? Where were we?
I mean, we were doing okay. I mean, even more than okay, I think. I mean, we have a substantial amount of money that we can make. But the problem is, since we have children, we barely see each other. It's very difficult. We don't spend a lot of family times, and we were complaining all the time. And we were like, we need to find something that gonna bring us a substantial amount of money, even more than what we were making, but that's going to give us a lot of time. And when we find that business, we were so glad, and we make that decision not right away. I mean, it took what, a few days for us to make the decision, and we found out more and more that it was a great business. And we saw people making a lot of money, having time, enjoying. And it doesn't mean that when you start making money, that you're going to retire. I mean, you're still going to enjoy the money, and you're still going to work a little bit. So it's doing great for us for now, as far as we are doing that business. And I'm looking forward to explain to you exactly what the business is about, and that you can and that you can join the venture.
Yes. So for me, especially, I remember before joining the business, the turning point for us was that, yes, we wanted to grow our family. So we started getting a little looking for healthier options, right? And we bought a water filter that helped us a lot. But then as we got to know more and more, we realized that we were missing something. One, with, like I said, the first time with the first child, I worked on my hospital bed. It was not easy. I remember just a few minutes before the doctor came in to say, push, push, push. I was literally in a meeting. And I was like, I need some more time. I need some more time. I need to finish the meeting. But at the same time, my baby was coming. Thankfully, I had an epidural, which helped me with the pain. But then still, up to till this day, I ask myself, why did I have to put myself through so much pain? Why? Because I guess I was so comfortable with making that biweekly paycheck and expecting that that was the only way to be able to receive financial freedom. But immediately we joined this business, it allowed me to understand or see the world in a completely different vision. It allowed me to see that I don't have to become a slave, because for me, I realized that that was modern day slavery. I don't have to become a slave to be able to put food on our table, and I don't have to not see my husband because he's always been a businessman since He has never worked for anybody else but for himself. But then it did not change the fact that it required for him to not be at home, to always be chasing the next client or going after the next business deal. But with this, today, we have the opportunity to spend more time together. We love our date nights. It's a very important aspect of us. But then we also love spending time with our kids. And our kids are now our whole world. We try not to miss any single thing. So big question, which I would love for us to respond in the chat is truly today, if you ask yourself, if you had to stop working today, what will happen to your income? And excuse the background noise. We have a family event today. It's because it's a sunny day. So a few of our family members are at the pool. But then what will happen to you today if you stop working? Would you still be able to feed your family in the next 3 to 6 months? Would you comfortably pay your mortgage? Would you comfortably be able to go out for dinners or have lunch or brunch? Will you comfortably be able to pay for gas in today's economy? Right? Um, Let me know in the chat. I would love for our some engagement here. If you know that you're not, that it will be a struggle, please put one in the chat. But if you know that, hey, even if I don't work for the next 12 to 24 months, I'm still going to be good, I'm still going to be able to live the lifestyle that I'm living today, then put two in the chat for us. I'm still waiting for a few comments. Please, let's make this chat, let's make it engaging. Let's talk to one another. Okay, I see one. Anyone else? Maybe most of us here are twos. Okay, another one. Well, in all honesty, we can understand because we remember, especially with the baby, we started asking ourselves, okay, we have to go back to work. We need nannies. We need someone at home. Are we going to send our kids to daycare? That alone is a job. Is a paycheck on its own, right? And we were like, okay, we do have to continue this grind. But thankfully, we realized that that was not the case. But unfortunately, for most people, if you stop working today, your income stops. If you stop working today, your lifestyle is at risk. Going back to Africa, maybe every 6 months, every year, is at risk. Or being able to see your family members as often as you do, just hopping on the flight, is at risk. Being able to have something as simple as going for dinners with your family is at risk, and stress increases. You're worried about the next bill. You're worried about what is the next thing that we're going to be able to do or not be able to do. And then your options slowly start disappearing. You start realizing, oh, we have to be at home more. Maybe we cannot pay for our childcare anymore. Maybe we cannot afford to have the brand of diapers that we want. Just simple things. Like, I don't even want to go to the most complicated things. It could be just simple things. Maybe we cannot even afford to have beef because we can only afford fish, mackerel at this point in time, right? It can be just those simple things, but then eventually you realize that they add up gradually. Sorry. So what is the high income trap? The high income trap is when you keep getting those paychecks, but and it makes you feel comfortable. It makes you feel like, oh, I'm stable. Like, okay, I'm working hard. This is what the American dream looks like. I'm working hard. I'm making those paychecks. I can able to send money back home, or I can be able to support my family how they need me to support. It seems stable, right? It seems like you're doing the responsible thing, but then it's not scalable. I remember a few years ago when I was working at a job, and I mistakenly, out of curiosity, I mistakenly saw my boss's paycheck, a boss that was at least three levels up from me at the time. And I realized that he was making about $9,000 more than me. And I asked myself, like, if I had to work another 10 years to make only $9,000, am I like, where am I? Is this really what I'm about to be doing? And unfortunately, what I ended up doing was instead picking up more jobs, 2, 3, 4. At some point, I had up to 5 jobs, right? And my husband was running 3 to 4 different businesses back and forth. Our lives were extremely busy and crazy. I'm telling you, only $9,000 more. And we just realized that like we were living like bedroom mates, right? Unfortunately, we talk about that a lot in like marital counseling or in marriage talks. But then the reality is that if you're tired, you're exhausted, you don't get to spend as much time with each other. You find a little time to rest and to breathe down, but then you guys don't build that bond. And so I'm really grateful today. That is one of the things that I'm most grateful for today in our business, because we get to spend more time together. We get to enjoy each other's company. We get to become best friends again. We get to really understand why we fell in love and just enjoy the marriage instead of being stressed about what our boss, or coming back with the masculine energy from work, you know? And not having the flexibility to do what you want, or going to visit family members, working while you're on vacation, or whatever it could be that you consider flexible. But most importantly, not having that independence. Like, you would think that becoming an adult, right? You used to be in school, you used to live under your parents, and then you've always felt that becoming an adult was independence. But then you become an adult, a full-blown adult, and you are still being independent because your boss can call you at any time, especially I know I used to live in the UK, and the UK is a little bit different. I used to work in the UK, and at least they know that at 5 p.m. when you clock off, you clock off. But here in America, sometimes I used to work to 2 a.m. and I'll be receiving emails from my boss. And it was a crazy lifestyle. So today I'm really thankful for that independence. What about you? I mean, in business,
I mean,
even though you owned your own businesses, did you
yeah.
feel independent?
The bottom line is you work less, you make more. So you independent eventually, but the good part of it is like the money that you can make, because when you're independent, $9,000 is not less. I mean, it's a lot of money, by the
A
way.
year?
Oh, a year? I
Yeah.
thought it was a month.
No.
Okay, I mean, $9,000 a month as a revenue is not, it's okay. It's not little money, but when you can make 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, $100,000 a month, then you think about what you're gonna do and you choose that businesses. I mean, the bottom line is simple. Nothing is free, but it needs a little bit of work. But after you start getting that checks, 1,000, 2,000 and higher, then you know that you can make it. That's how you started it. And we would like you to start with us and to join the venture with us and make that money together. It's easy, it's not complicated. And you're going to be the one, maybe in a few months, to share your experience with some people about how much you're making, what you're doing, as we're doing right now.
Great. So what if one of us stopped working? That was the question. What if life changes? What if we're not really building? But then if our income disappears when effort stops, it isn't ownership. For example, when you had your business and you stop working, when you are not able to go to clients, or you are not able to pick up your phone in the middle of the night, right? What happens? Does it affect your income?
Oh.
No, I mean before with your other businesses.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, you had to. I mean, you remember I used to work from 5 a.m. to around midnight every single day, even on Sunday, because like she said, I have multiple businesses and I was working crazy. I was making a lot of money, of course, but it was at the expense of my family. I was tired all the time. And that's the good part of it. I mean, you can make, even when you make money, a lot of money, you can make the same amount of money, even more with like 10% of the work or something like that, 20% of the work. And you work when you feel like, pretty much. You have your own schedule that you do. And that's the best part of it. And it's not stoppable. You can hire and hire, make, I mean, I know we have a few coach here, I mean, that are making a lot of money. So that's the excitement also. When you have your free time spending with your family, you think about how you're going to make even more and what you're going to do.
So there's another way out, which my husband has already started introducing us to. It's not about working harder, it's about working smarter. I promise you, those that are the richest people in the world are not smarter than us. Well, they're smarter because they're working smarter, they're not working harder, but they're not the most intellectually smart. They're not the ones that are putting 100 hours of work every single day. They're not the ones that are, yes, they have discipline. Yes, they are committed to what they do. Yes, they're being strategic in how they be able to make their money, but they're not working like slaves. They hire other people, unfortunately, to work like slaves, which was us. So we would like for you to start thinking differently. Instead of trading your time for money, start start building income that works without you being present, that works behind the scenes. I have one of my coaches here who's going to come up very soon. She just came back from South Africa, and she's going to tell you how much she spent 2 weeks, I think, in South Africa. And when she came back, she's going to tell you how much she's made so far in the business. And she's going to also tell you how long she's also been in this business, just to give you context of how much she made in 2 weeks for being in this business for as long as she's been. So this is about creating an additional source of income. If you saw in our emails, which we will still send out, please read your emails. I know that some of us, we don't have the culture of reading the emails, but please read your email. There was a YouTube video that we shared in our email from Bob Proctor, and he spoke about how he came from extreme poverty to being a millionaire today. And I'm talking about tens of millions. I'm not talking about 1 million, $2 million. Okay. And he spoke about the fact that you cannot rely on one source of income. If you are like us Christians on this call today, you would know that even the Bible, which is the roadmap for everything, speaks of having multiple sources of income. You cannot depend on one source of income. Okay. So what we are creating for you today is having an additional source of income. And it's up to you. You don't have to leave your job. My husband did not completely leave his businesses. He picked and chose which businesses made sense, that were comfortable for his career. I didn't completely leave my job. I still work, but then I work as a consultant now, and I work differently. I work smarter because I know what my potential can be and how much my time is valuable. Okay, so how does this additional source of income come about? It's automation driven. That is why it does not always need your presence. It's automation driven. So for example, the emails that go out to you have already been automated. We set them up when we set up this email campaign. When we set up this webinar. So they go out on automation. The ads you see have been automated. We don't record the ads every single day. We don't record videos every single day, but they're out on automation. And that's the beauty of digital, having a digital business. That's the beauty of working online, because yes, online seems to have to be in your face every day, but then it is done on your own schedule, and you're able to automate and push that out how you choose best, what works with your schedule. It's also scalable. So If you build the right systems, you know how to scale using strategy. You know how to grow your business bigger. And the business that we're going to introduce to you today is a business that is already set up. It's a business that has been existing for 52 years. 52 years. Okay. So it is not something that is brand new. It is not something that is an idea that we're coming up. It is something that has been proven, tested, and is true and is scalable. Where we started from is not where we are today. If you've been following us on social media, you've seen that in when we joined the business in less than a few weeks, we were able to go to the next milestone. And it's not by our efforts, it's always by the grace of God. But then it's just to show you how far you can go. And we're just at the tip of the iceberg. We're nowhere close to how far this business can go. There's no limit. So you can grow as fast and as far as you choose to go. And then it allows you to leverage what you have because it provides training, it provides mentorship. And with that, you can leverage it to be able to grow other additional businesses that are also automated, that bring about additional sources of income. Many of our business partners and coaches have other sources of income that this business has been able to bring to them. And that is the beauty of it all, because you learn skills that are transferable and that can allow you to continue to grow. But then also you get an income that allows for you to build assets, right? Buy properties, be able to expand your financial horizon. But the most beautiful thing is that you don't need any experience to get into this business. You don't need any experience. You don't need to be computer literate. You don't need to be technology savvy. You don't need to know. It is 100% guided. You have an amazing training that is provided, that if you had to buy this training individually, you'll be spending almost $80,000. Okay. For example, there are many trainings that I have joined personally that I've paid thousands and thousands of dollars for. But this particular business provides those trainings within the application. By just joining the business, you have an opening to so many trainings, and they don't stop there. It is continuously improved. It is continuously shared out. We have mentorships. We have group chats that we talk to. You have one-on-one mentorship. You have a huge community. I'm talking a huge community of people. That is 10,000s, hundreds, thousands of people that are available to support you and to help you grow your business. But again, it is your business. I don't want you to be fooled or to misunderstand what I'm telling you. It is your business, and it works on how you also want to be able to grow and scale. So what this is not well, it can be a side hustle for you if you want it, but it does not have to be a side hustle. This can be your full time. It can be your primary source of income, but it is not a quick money scheme. I don't want you to be fooled. Don't think, because a lot of times we come online and we think that coming online means that we can make money quickly. It can be a quick money scheme. It is not a quick money scheme, okay? And this is not hype. This is real. Okay, you get real checks, you get real cash, you get real money, you are able to file taxes from this business. It is a legit business. Okay, it is recognized as a legit business. It is not a behind the scenes business. So it provides you with some sort of structure and strategy that allows for you to be able to grow and succeed. So what is this? This business allows you to grow without being constantly present. It doesn't mean that you don't have to work hard. It doesn't mean that you don't need to put in effort, but then it does not require your constant presence. It doesn't require that you give it your 9 to 5, 8 hours a day. No, but by all means, I'm not saying if you give it 8 hours a day, there's a possibility that you will definitely grow higher than or faster than a lot of other people. But that is not what it is. It is not it's not a requirement at all. And then it supports your lifestyle. So if you say you want to work really hard for 1 month and take 1 month off, and just leave your automation running. You have the liberty to do that. And if you set up your system in the right way, it will not it will not affect your income in any way, shape, or form. But then it also allows for you to build long-term wealth, which was also something that was very important to us. We wanted to be able to build a legacy that we can leave for our children. We wanted something that our children would be able to continue on with and understand the value. And so today we have two older boys and we have younger children as well. And we are introducing our older children to also join the business. They're in their late teens and early 20s. And so we want them to also join early, make the money, and grow. So don't just take our word for it. These are real people, real testimonies of people that are making it in this business, okay? This lady here, she's from Cameroon. We are also from Cameroon, even though we reside today in the United States. But here she is, after working here in the United States for decades. She moved back to Cameroon because of this business. And today is she's making more than she could have ever dreamt of and living a very comfortable life. Alet here is another one of the business gurus in the business. She has very frequent months of making six figures. I'm not talking about year, I'm talking about months. Very frequent months of making six figures. This was actually a few years ago, but last year, I think it was in October or November, she made over $200,000 in 1 month. I'm talking about 1 month. I'm not saying in a year, okay? And there are many more here, but I'm just going to take a pause here and also allow for a few of our coaches to come on and share their stories with you. So please, Coach Nancy, can you come on and unmute yourself and please share your story? Coach Nancy, are you there? Okay, maybe Coach Lulu.
Hey, everybody. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you find yourself. Welcome to this webinar. First of all, before I say anything, sir, what a presentation. I'm so proud of you because you've not been here for 2 months and you have mastered this opportunity. And what I love is the fact that is like I say, it's not just about the money. It's giving. There is something in it from the way you speak. You're falling in love with it because of the potential that it has, and that is what this business is. This opportunity is not about money. It's not only about money. Money, yes, but it's not only about money. You see, you talked about time, right? Time, and time is the most valuable asset any human being can ever dream to have. And that is what you have nailed on. And that is what it's been for me, which I was listening to Marion Golden. If you've never listened to Marion, especially if you're a Christian in business or trying to create wealth, listen to Marion Golden. And he talked about he's a billionaire. He has money, but it is not money. For him, it is a time. And that is what, if your income, which he talked about, is tied to time, okay, there's a problem. It's good because a lot of us, that's what we were trained to do: go to school, get a job, make money, right? But now we're beginning to find that go to school, get a job is not the only way of making money. Because if we have 24 hours in a day, if your income is tied to 24 hours in a day, then you're limited. That is why this opportunity, it gives you the freedom to build asset generating assets that can generate wealth. When you build assets, that are well generating, that does not require your time, that is where we start talking about money. And that's what we're talking about, because this business, what is it? It is a digital business. We are affiliate, because I'm sure some of you will be asking, but are we selling products? Are we doing this? Right? We are digital business owners. We are affiliate marketers, or call it whatever, but we are affiliated with a company, like she said, that has been in business for 52 years. Okay, this is not a Ponzi scheme. This is not a shiny scheme. This is not a business that comes here and goes today. I did a coaching call for a lady 2 days ago, and she said, "Oh, I learned about this 12 years ago. I did not even know this, because I've been in this business for almost 2 years." Right? So that tells me, and that rang a bell to her. She was like, "Oh, it means it's not one of those businesses that will come and go like all the other things, that scooter or whatever, and all those things, right? It's a legal business." So you become an affiliate with this company, and this company is the one that pays us the big bucks. Mr. Appy there said he owns several businesses, but what I heard him say was that he went to work at 5 and came back at 12, because he owned his own business. He had to be the manager, he had to be the founder, he had to make sure things were done. He had to run the business on a day-to-day basis. And that is what makes a traditional business different from this business. If you own a business, you own a clothing store, or you own a grocery store, whatever you do, right? You are almost everything, because you have to make sure everything is running smoothly. But that is not the case here, because in this opportunity, what this opportunity does for you is it does all the groundwork for you, does all the foundation for you, and then now you just put your stamp of approval. They create your funnel. You have an IT team. You don't have to create a funnel. Or when I say funnel, just think about it as a website. But a funnel is what converts leads into buyers. Like she said, is what creates the automation, right? So this opportunity does that for you. When you started, you don't have to do that. So we don't sell products. I have a bottle of sanitizer here. Let me use this as no, let me use a TV. All of us, I'm sure we own TVs in our house. And if my phone cuts off, I will transfer to my computer, but it will not be on camera because there's something wrong. Okay. Um, so we all own TVs in our homes. Let me give you an analogy. And that TV, whether you bought it for me, I probably bought mine for Best Buy. I can't remember. For you, maybe from Costco or wherever, Walmart or wherever. If you're in the UK, like BR, I don't know the stores out there. But you bought those products from those stores. But Best Buy, Costco, Walmart does not produce TVs. Have you ever seen a Walmart TV? No, Walmart does not produce those TVs. Those TVs come from other companies, and Walmart is an affiliate or Best Buy with those companies. Best Buy takes this TV, right, and sells them on behalf of those companies. They are distributors. That is the same thing that we do. But here, we don't ship products, we don't label products, we don't deal with returns, and we don't sell products. We don't go on knocking people's doors, because this is attraction marketing. Okay, we show you how you can position your business in the online space in a way that it attracts potential business partners. And when they start their business, you make a commission. Okay, so like she said, you have a world class training that will show you how you can position your business on Facebook, TikTok, all the social media, YouTube, wherever you want to, okay? And you make an extra source of income. So what we sell is an opportunity. What we talk about is opportunity. That's what we market. What is this opportunity about? An opportunity that will allow you to buy back time, because buying back your time is possible. An opportunity that gives you the time, the freedom, and the flexibility. And that makes, like she talked about income, gives you that extra income where you can now diversify your portfolio. Because let me tell you, if you only every millionaire, every billionaire has multiple sources of income. And that's why we're here today, to make sure that you can. One thing I love about this business is that it's global. You can do it from any and everywhere in the world. When I started this business, one of my problem was, hey, is it technologically savvy? Because I don't like technology, okay? Um, and my coach said, no, Lulu, you don't have to. But guess what? I did not have to have the knowledge, but I have grown. And that is what I love about this. There is growth here, and you are provided with coaching and mentoring. And when there is growth, there is fruitfulness. Okay? Growth and fruitfulness go together. That's what I love here. So let me give you a little thing about me. Like I said, my name is Lulu Lutaline Fossa. I'm a mom of three. If you talk to me, you'll think that I run on steroids or I'm taking something because I am always on the go. Okay? Because I run a family, I have kids that are in sports and all of these things, and I have a business. I'm actually in the clinic. Today we work from 10 to 2. Okay? So when I started this business, I was doing 2.5 nursing jobs. Don't ask me how I was doing it because yesterday, 2 days ago, somebody challenged me and said, when I did a coaching call, they were doing 5 nursing jobs. I was like, I thought 2.5 was much. How were you doing it? She was like, she doesn't even know. She was just fired from her job and now she's starting this opportunity. And let me tell you something. You see, job, just over broke. That is just for your bills. When you take the money from your job, you pay bills. That's why we're always almost in the negative. Okay? You see someone on the street that is a beggar, you want to even give, you're calculating. Listen, that is not the life that God designed for us. In the Garden of Eden, there was gold. It means that God created us to have wealth. God was a creator. There was gold in the garden. There was all this, there was matter, there was so much. But a lot of us as Christians, if you're a Christian here, we're still struggling. That is not the will of God for us. Let me not divert. But you see, I was working 3 nursing jobs, 2.5. I don't know how I was doing it. Monday through Friday. I would go to work, night shift. I was taking care of somebody else's kid. But my own kids were staying at home at night. Can you imagine? I was taking care, making sure they are fine, which is good. I was doing what I mean. But then my own kids, if something was happening to them, and maybe their dad was asleep, nobody will even know, right? I will hurriedly feed them and go to work. And then I come back in the morning, shower. No, I take them to school, shower, and come back, go back like that. Monday through Friday. I don't know how many hours I slept in a day, maybe 1 or 2. And then we'll complain if somebody dies, they'll say, village people. It's not village people. We're not taking care of our health. Okay? I had this come to Jesus. I knew something had to change, and it was not going to be a third job. It was not going to be because insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting the same result. I knew that something had to change. And when I saw this opportunity, I clicked on the link, watched the webinar. I was like, you know what? Somebody, if you want to win in life, you got to be a risk taker. If you're not a risk taker, sorry. Every millionaire, every billionaire is a risk taker. And risk doesn't necessarily mean that it's because they have money. They started taking risks even when they had little. Okay? I was like, I don't have the money, but what am I going to do? But I knew that something had to change. I was tired of showing up for my kids' games, looking like I was beaten, looking like I had not. Sometimes I didn't even eat. I lost so much weight during that period. Okay? But when I started this business, I was not very serious about it. Everybody, if you're here, you know the story. But once I was like, and I was still working, doing the 2.5 nursing jobs, trying to do this business. I was not even focused on the business that I saw the potential that could eventually become my main hustle, which right now it is. But when I started, so I started doing that. And then one time my coach was like, Lulu, you're struggling. You have something in front of you, but you're not eating from the goal. You're eating from the floor. Do you know that sometimes opportunities, because of our mindset, opportunities will present in front of us, we don't even see it, and we jump and pass. Had gold in front of me, something that could potentially buy back my time that I was looking for, give me extra source of income, but I was not doing it because I was like, I was still very, very focused on the mindset that we were taught: go to school, get a job. But I was still job, over broke, pay the bills, then you start looking for the nexus. But then once I became serious and started saying, oh, I saw $2,000. I put more effort. I was like, hey, okay. I started seeing some consistent figures, right? And this is me. I've not been to that job. I work part-time teaching LVN students because, like I said, I'm a nurse. And I am in the clinic, which I co-own. Okay? Because of the potential in this business. Because I took that leap of faith and I paid that 149. So if you are here today, it is not by chance. It is not a coin. You're here is because you know there's something in you. There is something that needs to move. There is something. And today is a good day to start. I always tell everybody, today is a good day to start. Do not procrastinate. Procrastination is an arrogant assumption that God will give you a second chance. The time you have today is the one that you and I are speaking of. When I leave from here and I'm going back home, I am assuming I'm going back home, but I don't know what's going to happen on the way. God forbid. But I might not even go home. I might stop at the grocery store, which I plan to do. But so
Oops, did we lose her? Well, she did tell us that her phone was about to die. But then, I mean, can you imagine how powerful is that? How powerful is that? Um, it's just amazing what you are able to do in this business. I promise you, it's really amazing. And for us, our whole lives have changed. We've not been in this business.
I'm sorry, like I said.
Yeah,
Sorry.
thank you.
Like I said, this is me, but you can't see me anymore. For some reason, the desktop is protected. I can't use it. But if you're here, this is still Coach Lulu without the face now. But if you're here and you are needing something, you know that you need something. You know, you're made for more. Abundance is our birthright. Okay? I want you to know that abundance is your birthright. Okay? If you're here and you've been watching Appy and her husband, you've been watching, please reach back to them today. I want to do your coaching call because when you pay your 149, I will sit one-on-one with you and I will do your coaching call and strategize you to start your business and you start earning. You see, that's me. If you see me there, it says $48,550 in October. Listen, I could not believe it. That month, I was like, what in the world is happening? As I'm speaking to you, I have 120 checks unopened that I have to find time. I never knew that. Hey, wonders. I never knew that one day. I remember Coach Caroline said, Lulu, one day you will cry in this business. I never knew there would be a day that I'll have one check. One check, I will not open it. One. Because that one check, as it's coming, there is already 10,000 things waiting for that one check. My people, nothing changes unless something changes. And for it to change, you have to change. Forget it. You have to change. All right. Unless somebody has a question for me, thank you for giving me the time, Wasa and Mr. Appy. I'm grateful. We can't hear you. Okay.
Thank you, Coach Lulu. As always, it's amazing. You're a real testimony. And I can just tell you something. I'm waiting for for us to make the money that you're making right now. So we're gonna put the effort to do
No,
it.
no, no, don't wish for it. Go higher. Look at you said
Yeah,
yourself, look
we
look
go
at
through that. Yeah,
Aceros. Mm-hmm.
yeah. The only thing I will say, the first thing I will say is that the business is more than 50 years old because on any business that you're going to do, you have to make sure that it's legit. The business is more than 50 years old. The people are making money. We see people making money. It's people around us. We can make it together. And it's around in the world. I mean, I travel a lot. I mean, I live in Africa. I live in Europe, Paris, Canada. I went to school in Canada. Now I'm in Atlanta, so I know a little bit what I'm talking about. So it's a great business, and we just wish that people here and tomorrow quickly make the decision like we did to do that business, and we can go forward with it. This is for individuals who are serious, think long term, want structure, no, not hype. And I mean, it's a serious business, serious money. So I think people who are here are serious. We want to make the money. When we say long term, it doesn't mean that it's going to take years for the money to start coming, but it can take a few months for the money to start coming, 1,000, 2,000. We already received a few $1,000s. I mean, we started that business like 2 months ago. So you can even do more than us. And I'm pretty sure that this year we're going to make a lot of money. We're going to put the efforts to do that, and next year and so on. So if anybody here is serious, think long term. Long term means long term for the money to get in. Long term for the money to get in the pocket.
Yeah, because it's not a get rich quick scheme. That's what
Yeah.
he's trying to say.
Exactly.
Because we don't want to make you. Sometimes we can make you feel like, oh, if I get in today, I will see 10,000 tomorrow. No,
No.
like, and this is a business. There is a difference between a business and a job. A job, you go there, you're guaranteed to pay 2 weeks, right? But even at your job, somebody owns the business. That person who owned the business had to build it to the point where he got employees who works now for them. Maybe they started working for themselves. A business, you have to build a business. And that's one thing with us Africans. We don't take time to build. We want quick results, and that is what makes us jump from one opportunity to the next. When you come here, please dedicate your time. Just know that it's a business. It's not a job. So that's what he was trying to say. I just wanted to jump in to add that
Yes.
to it.
Thank
Exactly.
you. Yes. And you have the opportunity to do this long term, right? You can do this for as long as you want. You can do it for 5, 10, 15 years. There's no limit. It works for you how you choose. It is your business. You have the freedom to structure it how it works for you. But I promise you, you want to get into it for the long term. You want to think about it for the long term, because the more you do, the more you climb up the ladder, the more you earn.
Oh, and Appy, I was gonna say this. This business is actually transferable. You know that? You can
Right.
actually transfer the business to your children, and they continue making the money or the bonuses that you're making. It's actually, how many businesses are transferable? Imagine that you're already building something. Then let's say like Michelle Acero or whoever, or even Coach Caroline, and they transfer one of the accounts that is already making 5,000 or a bonus every month to their child. That child is set for life,
Yep.
right? So
Right.
this is the kind of thing we're talking about. It is building generational wealth. Yes.
Exactly. And the beautiful thing is that you have coaches, you have mentors. You see, we have our Coach Lulu is on here to support us. You have an ecosystem that is built to support you. The business was built to be able to support you and for individuals to grow. So I know that the next question is, okay, we've heard a lot about the business, but then, oops, let me remove this from this view. How do you get into the business? How do you learn more or join the business, right? So we are encouraging you today to take the next step. Just take that leap of faith. Take that risk, just like Coach Lulu was sharing with you. There has been no successful business owner, no successful millionaire that did not take the risk. Zuckerberg took the risk. Mark Zuckerberg took the risk. He was in college when he was trying to do Facebook. Everybody thought he was just he was joking. He didn't know what he wanted to do with his life. But see him today. Look at where he is today. I mean, look at what's the other one's name with Tesla? What's his name again?
Elon Musk.
Elon
Elon
Musk.
Musk. Yeah.
Look at the risk he took. I mean, how many years ago? I know we all thought about driving cars, driverless cars, but look at what we have today. All over Atlanta, there are driverless taxis, right? The Teslas now drive themselves. They're like, if you don't take that risk, you will never be able to see what your potential could be. So take the risk, take that leap of faith today. It is just $149. A lot of us spend $149 on things that will never produce results. We spend $149 on dinners. We spend $149 on an extra pair of shoes if we are women, or even men sometimes, because he buys shoes more than me even. So if you, instead of spending $149 on an extra pair of shoes, get into a business that you can give your children. There's nothing else. Us as parents, there's nothing else that is more important to us than our children, and making sure that our children are able to live a life that they didn't have to suffer for. I'm not saying they don't need to work hard, but they didn't have to suffer and grind and do what we had to do, go through to make it.
Yeah,
Right?
and one thing you should know is that your $149 is totally refundable. 30 days
Exactly.
money back guarantee. Okay. Let me say, like she said, if you pay your 149, why do you have to pay $149? And because you that's a registration, so you can get access to the pre-coaching videos. Because after she's spoken to you, Appy has explained it well, but let me tell you, there is a different cognizance that happens when you watch those videos. They explain it in detail. You're seeing what he's talking about, the compensation plan, the products, the strategies, testimonials, right? You watch those and then you get to do a coaching call. Okay. If during the coaching call you tell me or your coach that you don't want to do the business, you will send an email and your $149 is refunded within a couple of hours. Like she said, think about it. I'm going to go to the grocery store. My plan is to go buy beans. But I'm sure that before I leave that grocery store, I will spend more than $149. That $149 has made more than if I was looking at the profit that I paid from that $149. Of course, it doesn't end at $149, but $149 is your exploratory price, okay? For you to see this for you, because let me tell you, it's not for everybody, and that is okay. The business is not for everybody. But then how would you know? You get details and the compensation plan. You're right. How would you know if it's not for you? You must going to take it as paying fees to go learn something new that can potentially change your life. All right. So yes, please get with them to pay your $149. Or if you want to ask more questions, you can ask. If you have any questions, put them in the chat. And
Yeah.
we have Queen of Unstoppable. Wait, Happy. I want Queen of Unstoppable this is Brenda. She is a surgeon in the army, okay, doing this business. Sister Brenda, please, if you don't mind, just give us 2 minutes of your time. Thank you, first of all, for joining this wonderful couple. Can you just share a little bit of what this has been for you? Sorry, I'm putting you on the spot.
That's okay, Coach Lulu. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak with you guys here. It is a pleasure to be here. Um, First of all, I am a US soldier working full time in the army, and I'm also an entrepreneur in the digital space. I have other things I do too, and I'm also a student in the healthcare. So I've joined this opportunity in 2024. It has transformed my life, and I will never go back to the me of before because I'm a shy person. But I don't say I'm not anymore. I was a shy person. I didn't know anything about digital business. I didn't have any background on marketing, on social media. I've learned everything from scratch. But this business has been a life-changing opportunity for me because I've learned so much. Like, I've learned so much, like even how to make videos, how to talk. The confidence is something else. And if you knew me before, you definitely confirm that I've transformed. And what I can say pretty much about this business, it's not just a business. This is a God, like a God sent, it's a blessing from God because first, I didn't know anything about social media because I was really, I was not a social media person. Oh, sorry, give me a second. I was not a social media person, but I had to learn from scratch. And when I was even starting, I told my coach, I'm not a social media person. Do you think this is for me? And what she told me was, we'll see. We'll see. So that we'll see is what I've became today. Something else because I've I've gained confidence, I've gained skills, I've gained so much. And the income side is a plus because those skills you gain here will help you to, monetize everything you do. This opportunity is a life-changing opportunity because now people reach out to me about how to do AIs. People reach out to me about other stuff, and I've gained those skills here doing this business. I know how to do ads. I didn't know anything about that. I didn't know how to, target, how to um choose whoever I want to see my videos. Like I didn't know anything about social media, about advertising, about targeting, about AI, nothing at all. Even ChatGPT, I didn't know anything about ChatGPT. But this opportunity now showed me so much that I can create whatever I want to make it as an income, right? And today I started as a mentor. Today I'm a coach. But what I can tell you guys is a chance for you to gain skills. Put aside the money, right? We all start business because we want to make money, but think about the wealth because all those skills you gain here, you can transform all those skills into stream of income, right? Because now what I'm capable of doing, it was not me before because as a background, I was a civil engineer, right? I was doing civil engineering before I joined the military, and then I switched to medical. So I didn't know anything about social media. I didn't know anything about marketing. But now, if I build anything business wise, I'm not going to call anybody for marketing because I'm going to do it. I'm not going to call anybody to put together my videos because I'm going to do it. I'm not going to call anybody to tell me how to market my business because I've gained those skills. And yes, if I have to continue talking, I won't finish. You guys are at the right place at the right moment, and you have the right people because this is a people business, right? And if you don't connect with the right people, then there's the issue. And I promise you this, you're in the good hands, right? And they're gonna help you because here we don't leave people to themselves, right? We help them from zero to hero because Coach Caroline is like every time if she didn't store my coach, because my coach is Coach Alex, right? If she didn't store, Coach Caroline didn't store, my coach won't store. And if my coach didn't store, I won't store because the only reason I'm here is because she's a veteran. And in her video, she said that if she didn't say that, I would not be here. And I'm forever grateful for that. So, guys, this is an opportunity for you to be a better version of you, to learn new skills, and to build a generational wealth, and then monetize any skills you learn here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
That was powerful. And thank you. Thank you for your service. We really appreciate.
Thank you for your support.
Thank you, Coach Brenda. Thank you for your service. Thank you so much for jumping into this short notice. Appreciate
You're
it. All
welcome.
right.
You're
Happy I'll
welcome.
leave you guys. I have to run.
Yes, thank you so much. Well, we're actually close to the end of our webinar today. Thank you so much for joining. We encourage you again to sign up, book for pay the 149. Call us if you've seen us through our emails, you have our contacts, you're able to book a call with us, which we are giving for free first, so that we can talk to you, because we love to get to know our business partners and build that personal relationship. We want to make sure that this business is right for you and that you're a right fit for us, right? And then we'll guide you through signing up with the 149. And yeah, the sky is your limit. We're so grateful to have you here, but then we're even more grateful that you are able to take the next step, and take that bold step, take that leap of faith, to be able to build something for yourself, build something for your family, build something that would last and would be able to give you the freedom that you deserve. You deserve it. Just think about it. What can you be able to do if you do not have to rely on a biweekly paycheck?
Thank you to everybody. I don't know if somebody here speak French. Merci beaucoup. C'est gentil, and we're looking forward to have another webinar soon. And we open, like my wife says, to exchange with you any given time you wish. We're waiting for your text. We're waiting for your email, and we wish you a beautiful evening.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you. And thank you to all our coaches who were able to join. Thank you, Coach Brenda, as well, for all your testimonies and encouraging words. We are so, so grateful. But of all things, we give all praise and glory to God Almighty, who has allowed us to be here today. Thank you, and have a blessed rest of your Saturday. And please enjoy some time with your family. They deserve it.
Thank you.